Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of 15 Minutes With. Some of you might be asking, what is 15 Minutes With? What is its purpose? What are its goals? 15 Minutes With is a show about jail and prison. 15 Minutes With doesn't glorify jail or prison. In fact, the purpose of 15 Minutes With is to deter not only young people, but people of all ages from going to or winding up in jails or even prison. Do you know that here in America, the home of the free, there are over 2.3 million people incarcerated. Over 1/3 of incarcerated women worldwide are in fact locked up right here in the United States. Over 13 million people are arrested each year, and that is more than the population of Los Angeles and New York City combined. It's a lot of people. From what I just said, you're probably thinking that 15 Minutes With is an anti-police or anti-justice show. If that is what you're thinking, you couldn't be further from the truth. The police risk their lives out there helping others with just pretty much handcuffs, pepper spray, a gun, and their wits or their street smarts every day. There are so many laws, some antiquated on the books, that an average person commits 3 felonies a day, and our courts are showing it. So are our jails and prisons with an overload. 15 Minutes With takes you both behind the walls and the razor wire and out on the streets to talk to inmates who are currently incarcerated and some who have been released from confinement and are living out here in the free world. It is our hope that once you hear their true stories about what the system in jails and prisons are like, as well as the horrendous and outright dangerous conditions on the inside, that those of you who may have be headed down that long and lonely road that leads right to the inside may have second thoughts and think twice before winding up inside those walls and having to live in those conditions. It's our hope you choose the life out here in the free world. Now, here is this episode of 15 Minutes With. Hello?
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from
Drew Peterson?
an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish to block any future call.
Hi, Drew?
Good morning, Joe. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Hi, how are you this morning?
I'm fine. Just
Okay, good.
a while going.
I know this is probably a little bit different than what you're used to, but I don't want to just go in there and say, okay, Drew, here's my questions. And I think that you should have an input in this because you're actually helping me with the project. So that's why I didn't give you a whole list of questions right outright. I mean, we can say what the charges are, but we don't have to get into the case. I mean, my thing is to deter young people and, anybody who might be going down that road. I don't know if you got a chance to read the email I sent you last night, but one of the questions that I did want to ask is, if you saw, somebody that was going down the road, that road, or a younger version of yourself, what would you tell them?
Well, I led a pretty milk and cookies life growing up. I mean, I was the class clown, but other than that, I pretty much stayed out of trouble or I worked.
I know, that's something else too. I mean, this shows that it can affect anybody because I know there's limited stuff that you can say in there because of the other guys around you. But 1979, you made Officer of the Year. I look at that, and then I look at now, and it shows the difference that can happen. Good people, I don't look at people as bad people. I look at people as, good people make mistakes. And
Yeah, my entire career was, I got one piece of discipline my entire career, and that was towards the end of my career. I was the watch commander, and I failed to stop a chase, which was departmental policy. I failed to stop it fast enough, and I got a suspension for that. But other than that, I have a clean, it's hard to go 32 years without being in trouble.
I thought approaching you would be a good thing as well because I have a public safety background just like you do. It's a little bit different, but
You were a what?
paramedic. I was a full-time paramedic, both in Connecticut and in New York. And, I mean, I've seen the aspect of the good and bad. I've seen, you know, where, like, some guys that are getting in trouble, actually a lot of guys that are getting in trouble, it seems almost like drugs plays into the process. And, I mean, there's other things that are, like, you know, people getting in trouble for necessity. I mean, you know, I've seen people, and I'm sure you have, you know, too, where some guy might be laid off. He's been laid off for a while, and all of a sudden he's in jail because he can't get help, and he goes out there and he starts stealing.
Right.
I mean, my thing is, a lot of young people are getting in trouble. They don't realize what prison's really about. Then you got the guys that glorify prison and think that, you know, they make it look like it's a game. All this stuff like that out there glorifying prison, and that's not what it's all about. That's, you know, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything that you would want to bring out?
Well, the thing, don't feel like you have to cram this all. You only got 15 minutes, but I call back. I call 15 minutes. I have to wait a half hour.
Okay.
But today I'm going to be locked down at about 9:45 for a count, and we get out again for lunch about an hour later. So
Okay.
I can call back, or I can call tomorrow. We can just get tomorrow same time if you want.
Good. And then, yeah, the other thing I wanted to ask you, one thing that I was trying to point out to these people that are, you know, going, you know, that are going down the wrong road, and I mean, you would know better than anybody. When you go into prison, obviously you lose your freedom, but I don't think these guys realize that you basically get told when you have to get up, when you have to go to sleep.
This call is from a federal prison.
When you have to go to eat, what you can eat.
Sure.
You know, so that's I think they need to realize that, because I mean, like I said, it's a deterrent to stop them. You know, Drew, if you saw yourself 20 years ago heading down this road, and you saw, you know, physically saw Drew Peterson, what would you tell yourself? I mean, would you say, hey, you know?
I would. My problems came from a bad matrimonial decision.
Yeah, I know, it's a little bit different. Yeah.
Well, because like I said, I led a milk and cookies life all my life, and all of a sudden this thing came on me, and it's like I had nothing but the citations, accommodations, good things in my file, and it's just like this came on me all of a sudden because I was in the middle of a news lull.
Mm-hmm.
News lull was covered by me, and I had for months. I had cameras and trucks in front of my house and stuff. It was nightmarish. So everybody didn't even play my good assets. All they did was downplay everything. And I was convicted with gossip, rumors, innuendos, unreliable, privileged hearsay. And it was like they pulled all the stops from what was supposed to be done.
Well, that's what the other thing is too. People think that the criminal justice system is a fair system, and they really don't realize that they'll do anything they can to get a conviction. It doesn't matter what they do as long as they get their conviction.
And I had a bad lawyer who lied to me about his credentials.
Mm.
I trusted him, and I did what he said, and I went out in the public, which was a bad move. And I had fun doing it. I had fun going on Dr. Phil and Coast to Coast with Matt Lauer and stuff. I had a good time with that, but it was actually bad for me. So.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Especially during, that's why, you know, last I had known I had known that you were appealing some of the stuff, and that's why, you know, part of the reason why I said let's, you know, we can say what the charges were that you were convicted of, but let's not get into the case because I don't want to leave you open for anything. You know what I mean?
It's fine. Basically, everything that I have going is being appealed, and the thing is, what I'm dealing with between you and I is table backdoor politics, and state appeals courts are ignoring the rulings from the higher courts, and they're ignoring the issues. And what happens is now I'm in the place that made those decisions in my favor. So I'm happy about being in the federal courts.
Yeah, you know, one thing I kind of got thrown off with, and I think I wrote you this. I didn't understand. You never got brought up on federal charges. So how the heck did you wind up in there?
Well, we're appealing in the federal courts for the
Okay. So because it's in federal court, they moved you over there. I know, I don't know if you know, but the media made a big, the regular mainstream media made a big, oh my God, you can only go into federal court for, federal prison for these reasons, yada yada. And I'm like, there's something not right,
No, what happened while I'm in federal court is I believe they're hiding me here because I have less access to the press. The state, this press can come in and bring cameras in and stuff, but here they cannot.
Mm-hmm.
So I really believe they just wanted to shut me up.
Basically, put out of sight, out of mind kind of deal.
Pretty much. Right?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, and then again, it proves the system. It proves how unfair the system is.
Right.
And
so I've experienced the county. I've experienced the state prisons. I've experienced now the federal system. Probably intelligently talk on all three places. So I don't know.
Well,
so tell me what you need.
All right. Well, I mean, like I said, the interview that we're doing, if you want to sit down and think about things that you might want to throw out there, I actually threw you some questions, kind of where I thought I would want to go with it. I sent you an email, and then maybe between the both of us we could come out with this. It's like I said, it's a deterrent. I mean, I want to stop
what you're looking at. I'm pretty unique to what you got going because what happens is you're trying to steer kids from going down the wrong path, but I let them milk and cookies path. All I stayed out of trouble, and I could have been in trouble.
Right. Well, that's the thing. People think that it could come out of nowhere. You can have a perfect life, and then next thing you know, you're in prison.
Right.
The ones that I think we can help, and I'm saying we because you're actually helping, and that's what people don't, people on the outside, civilians get this idea that once somebody's in prison, just forget about them, and that's, that's ridiculous.
Well, I like to bring out how guys in here have been forgotten about. A lot of times their family and friends forget about them, and I'd like to say something like, if you have a family member that's incarcerated, put some money on his books, send him a Father's Day card or something now.
Yep. Oh, you know what? I wanted to ask you too, because I actually wanted to send some stuff up there to you, like pictures and stuff, and maybe a card. But I'm reading that some of the institutions you can't get cards at and stuff. What's the deal with that?
You can't get cards with sparkle stuff on them.
This call is from a federal prison.
Too many people are trying to smuggle drugs in.
I got you.
They're
So it's not cards altogether, it's just different kinds of cards, and I know they said no, I can't even put an address label on there, so make sure I handwrite the address label.
If you can, just send me a plain white envelope and plain white piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing that's a sticker is the stamp, so other than that, you can mail that in, you can mail pictures in.
You can mail pictures in, okay, because I know some of the places, believe it or not, you can't even get pictures in that are regular, normal pictures. They photocopy the pictures and send the pictures back to the family. That's ridiculous.
Do that too, so. And
yeah, I actually saw a bunch of different rules. I was actually reading the stuff before I sent,
People are sending me girly pictures all the time. I get girls writing me with marriage proposals all the time. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Not for nothing. It's good to get, at least you're getting, contact from the outside, and that's
right.
a good thing.
Like, I'm not a big letter writer. I really don't enjoy writing letters. So they write me these big long 8-page things. I write them, a couple lines. And feel like I don't really got a lot to say.
I guess we just got a warning.
We got a minute left.
Okay, so if you want, it's up to you. Let me know when you want to, call back, and then we can shoot back and forth with the email.
Right, just go ahead. If you want to call, probably tomorrow at the same time.
Okay. So tomorrow morning about 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Shit.
What's this time? Talk to you then. Nice talking to you.
All right, thanks, Drew. Bye-bye.
Sure, bye.
Thank you for listening to 15 Minutes With. I hope you've enjoyed this edition. If you have enjoyed this edition of 15 Minutes With, please hit the like and the subscribe button. You can also help me keep this show going and watch it get better by donating to paypal.me/Joe Tomaso. That address again is paypal.me/JoeTomaso. 15 Minutes With is constantly looking for new content to upload and new people to interview. If you would like to share your story, or if there's someone you would like to see us interview, please email us at insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. That email address again is insidetherazorwire@gmail.com. Last but not least, again, if you like to support this channel, please subscribe and hit the like button. Until next time, we'll be seeing you